This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Boom. Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of the Saints Block Party podcast coming at you. Apologize if it looks a little different. This is what happens when you travel. I am in Texas spending time with my family during Mother's Day weekend. Thought about the stuff I needed to bring, but some stuff I forgot. So we're rigging it for this podcast episode. Got kind of like the Tarantino tilt and everything. But
got the ceiling fan on. You know you at grandma's house. You know you at grandma's house got the ceiling fan on, boy.
Fun fact, not a lot of places, this was like a thing, like a culture shock to me when I moved to California. Not a lot of places in California have ceiling fans. Like most.
I think I heard Mark Sessler or somebody say something about that.
Yeah.
Some places don't have ACs, bro.
Yeah, like,
which is just
like
Europe, what?
Like Europe doesn't at all. Like that's why. Anyway, different way of us doing live stream for this episode. If you're a Patreon or if you're a YouTube member, you received a link to be in the audience. So what that means is that we record on a platform called Riverside.fm, a great platform for recording purposes for podcasts and live streaming. And so part of that is that we can have an audience. And so this is kind of our test run to see how it goes. Having audiences within, like as we're recording, they are seeing exactly what is happening of the live stream. And during the show at some point, they are able to call in, ask questions. Honestly, kind of like a throwback to like the early Saints Talk podcast days, like to come full
Talk Radio or something. What was that?
Radio? Yeah, I remember. That is what we're trying out this evening. So big shout out to everyone who's able to join, whether you're in YouTube watching, whether you're on Twitter watching, whether you're in the audience on Riverside watching. We appreciate it. All those things, retweet, like, subscribe, all that. We appreciate it. Does a lot. But before we get into football, before we get into Saints, today is Mother's Day. So just a shout out to all the moms, mother-like figures, your moms, just anyone who's a motherly person in their lives to kids and to children. Doesn't have to be children, it can be adults, which to them, they're probably still their kids. You make the world go round, and we truly, truly appreciate y'all. Like every day, y'all should be celebrated, but obviously today specifically. So shout out to all the moms out there, to Mama Wolf, just everyone out there. It's just hope everyone had a great Mother's Day.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it, bro.
I want to give a special shout out. So she's actually in the bedroom right now, and I could go in the bedroom and like put it on YouTube to get like the extra view so she could watch along. But she's in there watching her TVs. But just a shout out to my grandma, who is like one of the most amazing, wonderful people you'll ever meet in this world, who has helped raise me to be the person that I am today, and has experienced more loss in someone's life than a person should be allowed to have, and yet she's still being optimistic, just amazing self. And she watches all our, I don't know, 2 times, 3 times a day, like all of them. Doesn't matter.
I love it.
What it is, who it is. She doesn't even. She hates our episodes. She hates strong, but she does not like the episodes where we have guests because it's not enough. Not enough me talking.
I love it.
But big shout out to my mama, who who's been holding it down for a very long time. Okay, rookie camp, Saints rookie mini camp.
Yes, sir.
Kind of it started. See, I'm trying to like multitask, so I'm like multitasking with the Riverside audience. There's the YouTube audience. So shout out to Dante, Tony, London, Jerry, DeWright, Jordan. Just shout out to everyone who's in the YouTube right now, who's watching along. We appreciate it. Saints rookie mini camp. A lot of interesting things that's come from it. Biggest takeaway, I want to give a big shout out to our dude Ross Jackson, who wrote a really stellar article, and just in terms of what's like, it's just different. We've talked about it.
Yeah,
We've talked about it for months, but until you actually see it,
exactly.
it makes it like real. But there's a
It,
different offensive coordinator. It's like not a Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael
yeah,
offense.
man.
And this past weekend was like the first glimpse of it, and it was
Right.
just interesting, man. It was
It's
just very
interesting,
interesting.
right? And I appreciate Ross because he addressed exactly what I would have been looking for if I was there. What do you know? Because I wanted to see how the coaches interacted with the players. What does it look like? Because you know you could. I mean, it's been the same offense, the same way they install all that past almost 20 years. So people like Ross have been there for a while. They will
Hmm.
they will notice the difference. And for him to, detail like he did, talking about Klint Kubiak, his involvement with, with the quarterback, with the offense, how detailed he was, vocal. Because if you've seen Klint Kubiak interview, he's like very mellow, low
Hmm.
key, don't say
Yep.
much. But out on the field, yapping it up, detailed, correcting players, correcting the quarterback, correcting the running backs. What's the quarterback coach name? Jocko.
Oh, Andrew
Andrew
Jabanky. I
Janako,
can't.
Janako, whatever. He was active. Coach Dub, the wide receivers coach, he was getting after it. So it's just good to hear, man. Like, these are our new coaches, you know what I'm saying? So we going to get to know them very well. But it was just interesting to hear, bro.
It was just very interesting to hear. I don't even know what's happening with my camera. It just completely went out for what reasons I don't
Gone,
know.
man. Gone.
This is recording at home on a live stream can do. No idea what happened. That's it. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll just have to go to just we're scrapping the camera. We're just gonna go with just my laptop.
Yeah, man. It's quite fascinating. Quite fascinating. It's going to be interesting, especially when regular minicamp come with the veterans and everybody, how everything looks. That's what I'm
It
just fascinated to see.
it's fat. Like the thing that stood out to me is like the amount of time on task that he was spending with the quarterbacks,
Yeah.
um, and just that kind of like that change, right?
Mhm.
In terms of going from a person who kind of sounds like during just mild mannered guy, but then like when it's game time, that switch, right? And it's different. But to the rookies, it's not different for them because they
Right.
have no bases. Also very interesting just in terms of the verbiage of the play calls, right?
Right. Right.
Shorter play calls. We saw Chase Daniel go on Twitter talking about the Saints playbook in 2016. Bruh. Was Sean out here doing, bro?
Like, I feel bad. Any rookie quarterback coming in got to learn that shit, bro. Like,
It just
that's,
feels like that's setting a young player up for failure. But that said, what about like those like Michael Thomas who came in, or AK who came in, who just got it? Like that
exactly.
just shows their football brilliance and their greatness on the football level for that IQ. Just be like,
Alvin Kamara, just all them guys just to come in and master it, man. It's kind of crazy.
it's very crazy. Okay, maybe I'm reading too much. Maybe it's not an issue. The Fuaga thing at left tackle. I don't know why it's just it just annoyed the shit out of me, Ryan.
I
Just
saw
annoyed.
that for a lot of people, bro. I didn't get it. I didn't get annoyed. Give me your perspective. I just want to.
All right, you have a rookie right tackle who has only played right tackle at Oregon or Oregon State. Yes, this is rookie minicamp. Yes, this is time to experiment. But the thing that annoys me is twofold. One, we've seen what the Saints have done when they move players around, and I'm not saying that he's going to move to left tackle permanent. Not saying that, but we've seen that they like to meddle, right? They like to just take the meddle. Okay, it feels like in their minds, it's like, oh, we know he can we know he can play right tackle. We know he can play right tackle, right? Like, but you don't know that he can play right tackle. Like, you don't know
Right.
that. And the thing is like, if he's at left tackle and this is install, like day one install, his day one install he's getting is from a left tackle perspective. Why is he getting day one install from a left tackle perspective? Shouldn't he get the install from the right tackle perspective first? And then once he's mastered that, then you can go around and play around. They drafted him to play left tackle, and they just potentially have been keeping it under wraps, which then you have the whole thing where now you drafted a right tackle, and now you're putting him at left tackle when there potentially you could have drafted other left tackles who were purely left tackles in the draft. I don't know.
It just didn't bother me, bro. Like, he's a tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he played right tackle, in college, and that's his thing. But I mean, I can see if we moved him to guard or center or something like that. Then I'd be like, what the hell? But I mean, he's at tackle. Instead of taking it this way, you're taking it this way. I know play calls are different, and some of the things he'll have to do, in the zone scheme and stuff will be different. But I mean, look, they not no pads on, bro. They not hitting. Like, he's standing over there just doing pass sets, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the time to do that type of stuff. Just play around with it. We'll see come real mini camp. Like, once the veterans get in, because like right now, I don't even know who you would put at left tackle if it wasn't for him. I don't even know who that.
No clue,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no clue. Like, as far as rookies and undrafted guys and stuff like that. So, I just wouldn't read into it. Like, I understand. Trust me, I understand what y'all talking about because we've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over again. They love bringing in players and just say, let's put them in a completely different position than it was playing. Every time. Breeze.
That's my. That's again.
Right, I get it.
That's where it just feels all right. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It just in my crowd, bro.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe they're gonna try to get a better left tackle. I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
Also, an example of why you could hear, like, I'm at home, you hear like a landline.
A landline, bro. You got Gen Z is like, what is that sound?
What is?
What the hell is that?
Oh no! What is that? Emergency?
Bro, they kill me. They will keep them landlines forever, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get my grandma a cell phone. I tried to teach her how to use a cell phone 2 years ago. No, bro.
Bree Graham's got a cell phone, bro. That thing just sit there off all the time. Off. Don't make no sense to even call it. It's like,
anyway, so we'll I could be reading too much into it. It just annoyed me. But moving on. I don't know if I can share it. I tried to share it earlier and it was being weird. But because I wanted to just get your on camera reaction when I brought it up. Shout out to our dude who made my picture that I needed to have. I needed the.
I'm gonna retweet that so many times during the season, bro.
Bro, don't let Derek Carr have a couple of bad games. The legend of Spencer Rattler, right on my balls, continues to grow. I get it. He's throwing to receivers on air, all that. It feels, and we talked about this kind of leading up to it. Just watching his tape, that throw, it was one throw, right? It was one throw, but you just this feels a little different, bro. This feels a little different. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, man, everything we say about him, and if you go listen to every person that talks about him, they say the same thing. Natural thrower. Ball comes out of his hands so easily. Um, you just see it, bro. Like some guys, you got to squint to see it. Some guys, it's just easy to see that the dude is a dude as far as like throw the football, man. Like the dude would come in and throw the football, and he just looked like I think WGNO YouTube posted like a long, just like almost B-roll the Minicamp, and I like to just sit back and watch it because it's
Right.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
8 minutes of this stuff happening, no talking and nothing. And you can just watch Spencer and just his mechanics, his feet. It just looks right, bro. Like what I'm saying. Like some people, it's just very natural to him, and you can tell he works on his mechanics and how just the way he holds the ball, the way he throws the ball, the mechanics of throwing. It just looks right, man. And even though he's a small quarterback, man, you thick to him, got a little thicky,
Oh,
little thicky to him.
that's a dirt. That's a
Got a
dirt.
little dirt on there. Look, boy. I'm like, man, look, it's something. It's just something how Saints fans hype about him now, though, bro. It's just funny. Just from when he was drafted to now, it's like they bought in, bro.
It's just that hope, bro. It reminds me. It's funny. I was thinking about this before we started recording. It reminds me of in The Dark Knight Rises, where I know a lot of people can't stand or think it's a crap movie, and I get some negative.
Crap,
But like,
come on.
I know. But when Bruce is in the cave and like he's just trying to get out, he's trying to get out of the cave, and just that the chant just going, bro. Like I feel like the Saints. Like Saints fans, like in unison, bro. Just make the jump, Spencer. Just make that jump.
Everybody looking up. Everybody looking up like, please.
Bro, you go out there and you have a good preseason game with the starters. Make that jump he made it across.
Bro.
I think I asked you this I meant to ask you this, and then we had technical difficulties. What would it take? What would it take? Legitimately, listen, a legitimate, not a fuck around question. What would it take for him to be at some point this season starting quarterback?
It would take him to beat out Jake Hayner for the number 2 spot, which I think is
Right.
possible. And Derek Carr had to get hurt, bro. I'm just saying he would have to get hurt. I don't see a scenario. I mean, I think Derek Carr would have to be bad for like 6 weeks, like bad. 6
I'm
weeks
not,
straight.
I'm not saying even into this. I'm saying, is there any possibility that during this offseason ramp up that he would have a chance?
No, absolutely not. I would faint if that happened. Like this won't happen, man. It won't happen. I do believe there will be people in the building that
Yeah.
will want it. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
believe. But
Mm-hmm.
the people that really matter, DA, Mickey Loomis perhaps. I think more DA, he would be the stopgap. And I do think Klint Kubiak likes Derek Carr. How much he likes him, I don't know. I
That's what
think
I'm
he
saying,
likes
bro. But like, if Clint has seen Clint has seen Brock Purdy, Clint has seen what a incumbent starter in Trey Lance and that doesn't work out supposed to look like. Like if it's close during this offseason OTA training camp, man, I could see like a couple weeks for the first preseason game. He knock on DA's door. He say, "Listen, man, I know y'all paid him this money, but like, I think Spencer might be the guy for this offense. Like he might be better suited for." Now, does DA take that into consideration and roll with that? Probably not. But I just think it's so fascinating. It's just something that I'm just going to be so keyed in on this entire period.
I'd be interested because they love to talk about how it don't matter where you drafted, and once you get here, everybody's equal. Blah 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 blah. They love to say that. I'll be very interested to see how him being a 5th-round pick affects that. Because if he was a 1st-round pick, then you can't wait to get him on the field. Like what I'm saying, you can't wait to prove it. 5th-round pick, you kind of like there's no huge investment into it, but I do wonder, if they approach it kind of like, the Chiefs did when they selected Mahomes, Alex Smith was still the solidified starter that first
Right.
season. But by the time you got closer into the season, everybody knew it was Patrick Mahomes time. It was Patrick Mahomes time. After he
Bro,
played that one last game,
that one last game, bro.
it was like, bye, Alex. Like, I do wonder if there's a scenario where that happens, where maybe, the Saints don't make the playoffs, da-da-da-da-da, and then you let the youngster come in at the end of the season just to see what he got.
Ooh.
And then he shows something, and then it's like, ooh. I would love a scenario like that.
Let me catch up on the chat.
We wouldn't even be tripping about not going to the playoff. Like, say, miss the playoff, but Spencer Rattler cooking the final 2 games. We
get a better draft pick.
Let's go.
Rod said the most telling thing was Klint saying Rattler and AK gets concepts fast, but Derek is staying late to play catch up.
I hear that, bro. Like, what year that at? I listen to them damn interviews. I
ain't saying Rod making fake news out there.
You read into it, brother.
It's what's funny is that I question Carr's football IQ so much that like when I read that, like it felt like it made. I'm like,
it's not right. It's not right.
Shay said he agrees with you in terms of all of that. DeWright one says it's hard going from Drew Brees to Derek Carr. That's afraid to throw the middle of the field and intimidated in the red zone.
And that's another thing they talked about. Rattler was hitting the middle field a lot. I'm like, Derek Carr don't even do that.
Anything else from like rookie minicamp? Bub memes, just like I love Bub's energy, bro. Like,
Saints fans gonna love Bub, bro. Just affects his personality, man. Like, you just type of dude. As soon as people gonna love him on the radio, giving interviews and stuff like that. And the dude could play, bro. Like, he was cooking in minicamp. If you watch his tape, you could see that he's just like
he's so raw, bro. Just a
raw ball of clay. But the things you want from a wide receiver, he has. He's big.
Yes.
He catches with his hands. He stretches them hands out and plucks them out the air. He's fast. Like I think his 40 was like a 4.49 or something. But you can see the speed on. You can see the speed on tape, man. Like, he's gonna be. I don't know. I have no idea. Where he will fit in, and we know how they like to mess around with rookies, and don't really get him on the field early. So we'll see. But I got faith that he's gonna be something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got faith in that.
Yeah. Listen, when you break down like the 5 wide receivers for the Saints: Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Patrick Wilson, A.T. Perry, Bud Means. It's like, okay.
It's all right.
All right. Yeah.
Because you got Olave, people can argue about whether he's a 1 or not, but he has all the potential to be a 1.
Yes.
You got Shaheed, who's not just a downfield threat, but he has that dimension. Both of them can tilt the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But make the defense come to them. You got A.T. Perry, who's big, long, get downfield. Cedric Wilson, I really don't know what to think about him yet. And then Bub Means, bro, like, I feel like it's kind of wide open for him, man. Like,
yeah, man.
He just got to find his role.
It's not a Sean Payton offense. To me, an easy role for him to start off would be just like Robert Meacham. Just like go run that post and split those safeties.
Run that post, split the safeties up. For real.
And, for real. Like, just to get him on the field, right? Just very kind of rudimentary things. And I remember Shaheed's first year, he would make a huge play, right? It felt like they had that one play that they did in practice and they did in the game and it worked. And they were like,
that's
all right.
It.
That was infuriating. Anything else from rookie minicamp? They did the Saints, as of today, I think first person to report it was Underhill. They signed kind of like starter for the Bears last season, kind of like a journeyman, Lucas Patrick, offensive lineman. Maybe he'll play third, maybe just a depth signing. Don't know, but 1 year deal.
They don't have a starter at left guard right now, so it's just bringing in guys and see who wins it out, man. Because they don't have like a starter.
getting back to the Fuaga thing, right? I wonder. This is just conjecture. I wonder in their brain, this is their starting five. I'm going to go from left tackle to right tackle. Fuaga, Trevor Penning, Eric McCoy, Ruiz, Landon Young.
Mm.
I wonder if they're potentially thinking about that. That's no inside scoop. That's no news. That's just me thinking. Which it would be like the most saintsy thing ever to draft like a right tackle who like exclusively played right tackle, and then like, all right, buddy, you're a left tackle now.
It'd be something if he could do it though. You know, like
It,
that'd be
it would be.
like for him. I know for him, he's probably like hell yeah because you get them left tackle snaps, baby. That contract gonna be nice,
Yep.
nice. You know, so I mean, look, man, and look, you got to cross train, bro, because injuries happen. You never know. I remember them
Did Trevor
throwing.
Penning get cross trained at anything though? Like that's the thing. Like I feel like
I just remember like maybe one day of training camp last year where he was getting some right tackle. I don't even know if it was live
Oh,
snaps,
you
but
know
I
what?
remember
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely
it
remember
was
this
like
too.
one time though. It was like one time. I
Hmm.
guess with Penn and it was just like, look, bro, we just need you to learn. Just learn left tackle, bro. We ain't got time.
You play
All
left.
left. Get that up.
Oh,
But I mean, Fuaka look like a dude, bro. Looking at him out there, like his interview, he seems like a dude, bro. Like just a football player, Polynesian. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not worried about him, bro. I'm not worried
not either,
about
man.
him being trash, bro.
I'm not either.
Like how good can he be? I don't know, but like I don't worry about him being like ass.
He could be just baseline is like 10-year starter, right?
Right,
10-year average starter. Now
right.
that's baseline. His ceiling is obviously a lot higher than that. Saints signed most of their draft picks. Only draft pick who's left unsigned is Kool-Aid McKinstry. I don't really like talking about rookie signings because it's I have better things to do.
Yeah,
Better things to do. Trying to think anything else. I
he's
will say
recovering
this.
from a foot, by the way.
Yes, because he had the Jones fracture. Dylan Ford also had a sports hernia injury or some
Yeah.
sports hernia injury that he got like April 2nd that he's recovering from. Something that just stood out to me just watching. Christian Boyd can move. Like
Oh yeah.
a dude that big should not be able to move that fast.
Hey. Think he like real snaps in the defense
Yes.
this year?
Yes. Absolutely. I
I do too.
think by the time like OTAs, training camp, preseason comes along, I think he's going to flash a lot. He's going to get some tackle for losses of just being able to win with his quickness. That people are going to be like, "Ooh, how did they get him?" I feel it coming, bro. I feel it coming. And it's funny, like all the Raz stuff for him didn't align, and then they wanted to meet with him. I wonder if they put him through like a workout.
I
Like
bet they
I
did.
wonder, like. Because like maybe what they saw on tape didn't, in their mind, maybe match how good his numbers were, right?
Mhm.
And they're saying like, well, if he's an outlier in terms of what we drafted, he doesn't meet our metrics because it's not good. But we see it. We got to see it in person. And
Right.
I'll show you a couple of clips where he just going through the defensive lineman drill. Just I'm like, bruh. I really feel like I know being hopeful, but him and Brissy inside the interior, like it feels like that's the future.
Give me.
My bad. It says Kool-Aid signed.
Yeah.
RG says, what do you guys think about the running backs behind AK? I need Kendre Miller to be healthy.
That's it, man. Like that's it. Like I was looking, somebody had posted on YouTube his highlights from the final game against the Falcons. I was
Falcons,
like,
yeah,
damn,
man.
that boy
Bro,
was good in that game, bro.
You retweeted it on my timeline. I watched. I was like, literally looks like a young AK.
Yeah, man, I was like, God damn, he was looking good in that game. So
Good,
it's health for him, bro. It's all about health because I think this scheme would be perfect for him, bro. Like,
perfect, Ryan.
perfect, man. So I don't know what he got to do. I don't know if he need to go on a vegan diet or whatever. Like, I don't know, but just stay healthy, bro. Because God damn, every time he wouldn't even play a game, he'd be hurt. Like that, you ain't play, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro, the
you
most
hurt.
frustrating thing from last season is like the whole Jag game when Da
Oh,
like
man.
been sent for Jamal Williams and then like lied and said
He
he
got a pick injury anyway, so shit, I'm gonna just pick his corner.
said that was the difference.
You gonna tell?
No, nigga, I knew the difference. Good question though. I think while we're talking about Clint, I think the biggest thing that he potentially is going to bring in terms of offensively for the team is the run game,
Yeah.
like the impact on the run game. I feel like that is such a big thing that's been the same. Like even like towards the end when Sean was here, man, like the last two
Yeah.
seasons when Sean was here, it had just not been good. It
I've been
wasn't good
good,
under
yeah.
it wasn't good under DA's first two seasons. And when you can't run the ball, like we talked about this with, I think it was either with Matt Harmon or no, it was with Cody Alexander. But when you can't run the ball, like you can't. There's no body blows. There's no body blows that you're giving to a defense. So
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
know they know. Oh, shit, they niggas about to pass. Like it makes it very makes you as a team and as an offense very one dimensional. And when you're one dimensional in the NFL, bro, like it is very easy to defend. So if Clint I'm voting for Clint. Can just come in and just add much needed spice to the run game. That in of itself would be a huge, huge win.
Man, huge win, bro. And I think, thought just gone. Like, I don't even know what I was about to say, bro. Like, it was right there, and
Oh
it just,
no!
boom,
Oh no! Big watch. That's the we
pause,
get
bro.
getting old, bro.
I mean, it was right there, and it just,
Mitch, does the Saints need to sign a free agent safety? No, Mitch, no. They got Howden, they got Honey Badger. It like
they might dab in, but it ain't gonna be like Simmons or nobody like that. It's gonna be a guy.
I still say, and I know they got Jonathan Abram, and he probably can provide very same thing. I would still just go out there and just bring in Jamal Adams. Just see what he got. Just check under the tire.
I don't know, bro. I don't think they like. I mean, he probably got LSU players like, man, don't bring that nigga in there, man. Tyrone Brown said, man, don't bring him up.
Dante said, if the offensive line improves, do you see a where you see it where the Jamal Williams signing actually pays off in the red zone, especially when and if Taysom leaves?
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Man, Jamal was
Cook. Mule looking more cooked than Zeke Elliott, bro.
yeah, it was not looking good. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know if he gonna make it through. Like I don't know, man. He might be gone. He might be gone. We'll see. Maybe they like him just from a depth standpoint, but wait and see. All right, I guess it's time to talk about this whole training camp thing, bro.
Shit.
I listen since the draft as a podcast. I think we have been. I won't even say optimistic, but hopeful. Just hopeful that, to quote, Sam Cooke, a change is gonna come, right? And then the stuff about the training camp and the Saints and Irvine started to come out, and it just left like this real nasty taste in my mouth. So, Albrecht's first one who reported it basically is that because the Saints are not like home in California. And California already has two teams, the Rams and the Chargers, that because the Saints are doing training camp there, essentially they have to go to the league to ask permission to have fans at training camp, which is a weird, dumb NFL thing. I don't know, man. The thing that annoyed me and annoys me is that when they were picking out where they're going to have training camp, because they knew they couldn't have it in New Orleans, excuse me, because of the renovations, they absolutely was aware potentially there's going to be no fans at training camp in Irvine. Why, if you knew that, I'm asking two things. One, why is that even a consideration for you to do training camp there? That's my first question. Secondly, if you knew that, why haven't discussions with the league have already started to take place to, did someone just leave a thumbs up? That's probably Mitch. Did you see that? Did you see that?
I don't know if that was you had a thumbs up, so I don't know if that was the AI or something like that.
Was it? No, I don't think so. I'm trying to see now. That was weird. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was Mitch. I don't know, bro. But if you knew that was a caveat, why did you not reach out to the NFL even before you made that decision that Irvine was going to be replaced? Keep in mind, we knew Irvine, like it was hinted that it was going to be in California even before the announcement, which tells me that the decision to have it in Irvine had long been made. Long been made. So why was there not a discussion held previously to the league of like, hey, this is what we're doing, blah, blah. We want to have our fans there. Because to me, it just comes across as a complete slap to the face of Saints fans that may happen to be on the West Coast.
I agree, man. And, Dennis Lucia, Shana, whatever, Saints team president, he was talking, he was basically saying, the Irvine location doesn't really accommodate fans. I'm like, were they out there? No.
If you go to Google and you type in the name of the football field, I think it's Crawford Field, put it in Crawford Field, whatever, and you hit Google, whatever. There's a guy who was at Rams training camp last season. It's a minute-long video, him taking pictures of the Rams players on the field, him going around, the stand set up, everything. Last year. So how do you fix your mouth to say?
Well, he lying. Gotta be lying.
Yes.
And then he said the issue is, as far as like negotiating with the Rams and the Chargers would be an issue. So it should be an issue. But for him to say we don't know if it accommodate fans sounds like they're already got that decision made that it won't be fans. Won't be fans at training camp. Which to me is just complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit.
I researched it yesterday. There is not an NFL team that does not allow fans at least some open practices in training camp. There is not one. So
I don't get it.
So one, I remember when me and Julio, one of the OGs, went to the Charger Saints training camp or joint practice, one of the joint practices last season, and those were only open to Charger season ticket holders, right? There was someone who was driving from the Redlands, which is like to Orange County, that's like a 7 to 8 hour drive, just to see the Saints. When we did the Rams game, we had 30 plus people a couple of days before to organize. Like there's a huge contingent of Saints fans in the West Coast to just be like, that's gross, bro. Like that is gross. Nasty.
And it speaks to kind of a larger thing that I've seen from the Saints probably almost 10 years now. Because there was a time, like when Sean Payton came in 2006, Saints had like this big push. Because before Katrina, bro, I mean, we had blackouts in New Orleans, bro. Like you couldn't even watch a Saints game in New Orleans because they couldn't sell out the dome. After Katrina, all that happened. They sold out the dome, had the long wait list and all that stuff, but there was still like a push to grow the fan base, grow the Saints fan base. A lot of reach out to the Gulf Coast, Mississippi, Alabama, Northern Louisiana, all that. And it was a push for years. Like I remember players that would do player signings, players coming, Academy Sports and stuff like that, all up the coast. Just reaching out, man, because it doesn't take much to build a football fan.
Nope.
I mean, ask any Saints fan how they became a lot of times. Oh, I like the color. Oh, I ran into a Saints player at somewhere and he shook my hand and I was like, oh, I'm a Saints fan. Like it's so easy to create fans just by doing a little reaching out and being there and being present. And I feel like the last couple of years the Saints just haven't been doing that. I live in Mobile, still in the Saints market. There's no Saints presence out here, none. And I know people are like, oh, it's Alabama. It's all about Alabama and Auburn. No,
Like a
bro.
2-hour drive, bro.
It's a 2-hour drive, and there's plenty of Saints. I wear Saints jerseys. I mean, Saints stuff all the time, and I see Saints people all the time. They stop me all the time, but there's no reach out here. There's no reach out on the Gulf Coast, and you got a big contingent out on the West Coast. And we see the numbers just from our podcast. Imagine the numbers they see because they have all the analytics to look into sales, who's watching, and all that stuff, and ratings and all that. And it's like y'all really dropping the ball, man. Especially coming off a season where you had empty seats.
Ooh, come on, bro.
Y'all blowing people phone up, trying to get them to get season tickets and all that.
They called me 3 weeks ago. They called me 3 weeks ago. I said no, thank you. And then a couple 3 weeks later, I get an email like, no, leave me alone.
It's like an arrogance and a complacency that they've gotten over the years, man. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel it. But I feel like they just kind of take Saints fans for granted a little bit because they know Saints fans, we die hard, we gonna ride or die, win or lose, we gonna ride or die, and they know that. But you still need to, you still goose that lays the golden egg at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like you really need to, you really need to focus on that. Yes, winning cures most of that stuff. You win, yes, you'll bring a lot, but you still need to do that. Reach out and and just show your fan base that gratitude for us to stick with y'all while we're going through these hard times.
Shout out to our dude Daniel Mike, 1 year anniversary of the Saints City Me podcast. He's been spearhead, he's pointed it out. Like the UK, there's no fan engagement. I remember when we went over to London, it was very, very last minute where they all of a sudden hurried up and found a pub, and that was going to be the Saints pub for the week, and it was just all rushed. Wasn't anything planned when Dan had been reaching out for weeks trying to see that's when you say it's an arrogance or I don't know if it's not it's not a priority to them anymore. But reading that quote from Jeff Nowick, what Dennis Lachey whatever said, when knowing it was a bold-faced lie, knowing it was a lie, a simple Google search, and I tweeted it from our podcast on Twitter account, and then Jeff Nowick was like, well, technically, maybe because it's not their home, it may be more weird logistics involved and maybe a little bit more difficult. And I said, you know what, bro?
Get they dicks out your mouth, Jeff.
Please.
I mean, he just be all in his mouth.
You know what I said? I said when the Saints held training camp in Oxnard on kind of last minute, Sean Payton didn't have any problem setting it up to have West Coast Saints fans in Oxnard. You know why? Because I was there multiple days. So they had the infrastructure to set that up last minute, trying to training camp thing before the 2011 season. You knew before the Irvine thing was announced, I'm pretty we had heard rumors about it about 2 months to 3 months before it was announced. So the cat was already out the bag. So you're telling me that planning could have been done or has been done to prevent this? I will say this: if they don't allow fans in Irvine, you are going to be looking like a fucking laughingstock, because you will be one team out of 32 that's not going to have any fans at training camp at all. And I think Wayne made a great point. He said that's cause Sean Payton was a real one. EO head coach to the core. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. It's all about the details, man. It's the details. And like I said, it might not. It could be complacency. It could be arrogance. It could be just not having to find the details out. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody got to be on that, man. Like there should be not
Did they
just
need to
one person.
hire
A team.
NFL philosophy, bro? Like, man, what he did.
The logistics of the situation.
Shit.
No logistics. Like, come on,
No.
man. Like that's crazy to me. That's the crazy that y'all got Saints media. They got John DeCesar, and they got my dude Repo, and they got Aaron Summers. All these media people. All these people doing this fan engagement stuff. Y'all don't have nobody just to make sure. Like screw the social media engagement. I'm talking about real fan interaction. Like that's what makes the real difference.
And
That's dropping the ball to me.
let me put it like this, right? I'm gonna say this. When Julio and I went to that Chargers Saints joint practice, even though you had to have Charger season tickets, there were almost more Saints fans there than Chargers fans.
How crazy is that? How
Just
crazy is
dropping the
that?
ball, bro. Just dropping the ball. Those bleachers would be filled with Saints fans. And you are missing out on an opportunity for the coast of the U.S. that obviously don't have a lot of access to see the Saints unless they're playing on the West Coast, unless they're going to New Orleans. And those are memories, memories at a training camp that is like can get etched in your mind. Like you have, and I'm talking not just California, you have people from Washington, Oregon, Arizona, like everything over here. Well, I'm saying that when I'm in Texas, but everything over there, be like, man, I still remember. I still remember my ex-wife running up to Sean Payton in the Oxnard, and our daughter had like a little Drew Brees jersey shirt that whatever, and he was going to practice. She stopped him in the parking lot because she's brazen. Stopped in the parking lot for him to autograph. Still got it somewhere. Autograph
Uh,
Sean Payton jersey on a Drew Brees jersey on my owner. So those are like moments that the Saints are missing out on if they don't get this figured out.
all right. Because you're not going to be on the West Coast office during training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like imagine you're a Saints fan, a young Saints fan, and your team finally coming out there. Like, yo, they're gonna be at training
Bruh.
camp in my city, in my home state, and you can't even go up in there. You know? They got to work that out, man. I ain't saying you got to have people there every day, but man, you can't carve out a scrimmage day, a black and gold scrimmage, or whatever. You can't carve out 2 days to have fans come in and really, come on, man. That's not good business.
When every other NFL team can do it, even when they don't do practice in their home state. 'Cause I know not every team does training camp where they play football. Sometimes they do. Other teams do them out of state too. They have those practices open. Like
Yeah, I'm telling you,
I
man.
don't know.
It's been on my radar for years now. The Saints used to do a black and gold scrimmage
I remember.
in New Orleans.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they were
It was a
holding
big
at Tulane.
thing.
They were holding at Tulane Stadium sometime. I went a couple years ago. I'll say the 2017 season, if my memory. Packed. I mean, packed the Tulane Stadium like it's a fucking NFL game going on, bro.
Okay.
And just to watch them practice, and like, what happened to all that? Like, where is all that? And then you wonder why
Mm,
you got empty seats. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
And
No,
apathetic fans.
we broke. We broke, nigga. That's why
We broke the economics of the situation.
we can't afford a $10 ticket to see Derek Carr,
Um,
bro. Audacity, bro. Anyway, it's just been on my radar, bro. I saw you just you retweeted the tweet I put
Yeah, I
from
just
our
saw that, man. I
bro.
just saw
Like
that. I'm like, that's crazy.
1 minute clip, right?
That's crazy.
Up my bleachers, bro.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Um. Anyway, hold on. Let's see what. Checking up with the chat. It said no one reads those fan surveys. I'm convinced that the only one they send out because Sean set them up. Rod said Sean set up those fan surveys for the season tickets, and they just keep. I was the usher for the Zip Rays for a season. The Saint softball home games run derby game was packed. That was from Tony.
Yep. When the last time they did that? The home run derby at Zephyr Stadium.
Yep. It used to be a thing, bruh. It used to be a thing. Anyway,
Complacency, I'm telling you.
what man? How can you become complacent when you haven't even been to the playoffs in how many seasons? If I'm saying that would be a reason to not be complacent.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be really, going hard, trying like, man, we still love y'all though.
No,
We
they
still
they
love
got
y'all.
they got the head behind the back.
Head,
Niggas
feet up,
chilling, bro.
chilling, bro.
Anything else before we wrap it up? Michael said they love the fans so much they drop the ball and have it so fans can't attend camp. Way to get the fans back in your favor.
Man, look, I can tell you what they saying. They said, look, we spending, thousands, hundreds of millions of dollars renovating the Superdome. That's all y'all get. Damn it. That's all y'all get. That's it.
It wasn't on us that y'all had like a bad kitchen and bad food. That's not on us. That was on y'all. Don't put that on us. It got to get worked out, bro. Like even if it's like
y'all listen to this, like at the Saints, email them, whatever, man. Like I don't like that. That's bad business. Like let them know that you not, especially my Cali Saints fans. Know there's a ton of y'all that listen. You see the numbers, man. Get at them, man. Tell them y'all want to see the Saints at training camp. They need to work that out. Figure it out.
for sure.
Y'all are a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Y'all can figure that shit out.
Please.
Don't tell me nothing about the can't accommodate fans. Like get out of here. I don't know what team that is. Maybe the Broncos or I don't know. But fans sitting all on like the grass and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they had training camp in Greenbrier with fans. Greenbrier, not even a stadium. Like it's a damn resort.
Oh, these niggas.
Stop, man.
Please just lie to us. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us on a Sunday night. We appreciate y'all. We sorry about the technical difficulties, but again, that's what happens when not recording at home. We do have a very, very, very special episode coming on Wednesday. Friend of the podcast, Greg Cosell, will be on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, noon Central time. We're going to talk about Derek Carr's last season. We're going to talk about Klint Kubiak. We're going to talk about rookies, Spencer Rattler. Like it is going to be an episode you do not want to miss. That's for sure an episode where if you're a Patreon or if you're a YouTube member, take advantage of that audience feature where if you want to, granted, all the questions that need to be asked got to be asked first, and if Greg has time, maybe we can get like a question from the audience and into Greg, which would be really, really cool. But that's something that you definitely not going to want to miss because Greg always spit when he comes on. So thank y'all for hanging in there with us, even though, I mean, it's not dead right now. Luckily, like it's going to get picked up a little bit. You're going to get the OTAs, we're going to get the mandatory minicamp. And then after mandatory minicamp, just
nothing.
Silence, bro. Silence.
Nothing.
I was driving earlier as I wrapped this up and just thinking like, man, wouldn't it be cool if me and you were like on like a Discovery TV show called like Negroes and Ghosts, where like we just like Discovery just fly us like just haunted places and just record our reaction as we like going through like a haunted hotel and shit, bro.
Bro, I'd be down with that shit, bro. I'd be down.
Don't miss next week's episode of Niggas and Ghosts.
Yeah, niggas. Oh, just see me running, just run. Don't mess around, bro. Don't mess around with no ghosts.
Goes like just paranormal, bro. Just walking through like a hotel or just I don't know, bro. Like it would be.
I don't play with it, bro. I don't play around, mess with no Ouija boards. I know. I get it. It's bullshit. It's a toy. It's bullshit. I just don't mess with it.
No,
don't mess with it, man. Like
no, that's not bullshit. So you want to discover listening.
I'll let it. I'm getting there.
What a great concept for a show though, because it touches on like stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have some pretty funny just viral reactions, just being like our usual selves, bruh. They just take us, I don't know, bruh. They just take us to like Chernobyl, bruh, and just
Trump niggas in Chernobyl? That's literally what I named the episode. Niggas in Chernobyl.
Anyway, maybe y'all should just start like a online petition to get this show started and get kicked off the floor. Anyway, we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back on Wednesday with Greg Cosell, episode that we are very much looking forward to, as should you. Please make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube. We appreciate all the love. We will be here all off season. Shout out to our guys, the Think CDMe podcast. As I said earlier, their 1 year anniversary. Keep pushing, guys. We love y'all.
My
Our affiliate
dudes.
podcast, as well as the Chocobo Chasers podcast with Eric G and Dash. Also our people, our dudes. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Keep pushing. We'll be back on Wednesday. With that, we're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.